Hello everybody, welcome to the first video on this cool channel. So I'm going to teach you guys how to paint orruks. Pretty easy and simple, and it's pretty fun too. So I'm just going to get stuck in, basically. So you see this wonderful fellow here. So this is basically a zenithal highlight, so it's just been primed and then white highlight. And what we're hoping to get by the end of it is a model that looks like this, if my camera doesn't want to do stuff. Let's have a look. Yeah, something like that. That's what we're going to try and get. I don't know how well the quality is going to be. There we go. We're going to get something like this. Something really basic and simple. Now, I will try and get the colors of what we need on the screen. Let's see if I remember. Basically, we're going to start off with the skin, and I don't really go into details of highlights and shading and whatnot, but Vallejo's game color goblin green is really good for that really vibrant skin, because later on we're going to wash it down and get some good colors in the nooks and crannies. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my palette, and then we're going to get started with painting him. So painting the skin is fairly easy. Now, I don't really know exactly the right size brushes, but you want a small sort of number 2. It's got a very fine tip. My brushes are kind of old and messed around with. And we're basically only going to colour in the skin. So I'm going to try and do that. Take it off. And game colour is pretty good with that. You only need to really just get in. And just get right in the skin. It's always good to have a little bit of water as well with mixing the paint so it flows a bit better. And yeah, and I'll get back to you after I've painted all the skin. So with all the green based and coloured in, next you want to move on to the armor plates, and so that the helmets and the shields don't really have to worry too much, because we're going to go over the details a bit later. But with the green drying, or still drying as you can probably see, it's a really nice vibrant green in colour. Now to move on to these panels and these loincloth and all that stuff. Now on the box art it looks like a brass sort of copper tinge, but what I've noticed is a lot of the stuff they wear just looks like leather armour, like studded leather armour, and I figured out a really good colour for that is Citadel's Mournfang Brown. I'll find a different sort of colour variation, hopefully, on the chart, and I'll put that along on the side as well. And what this basically is with the Mournfang Brown, you want to go over bits like the chest and the other stuff, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the ropes after that. So we're just going to start off with this, and it doesn't matter if you get it all over the little studs, or if you get any on the green, because we're going to do a really cool technique after this. Now that all of the brown plates and parts are painted, you might notice that some bits that look metal that we've painted over, but that's fine, because we're going to go over it anyways. But now you might be thinking, he's got a lot of ropes on him, he's got a lot of bits of sashes and whatnot, and I've realised a really nice colour to replicate old worn down rope after we've done the shade. The look of it, it's a really good colour to use for that is Vallejo's khaki, or in this case Citadel's Zandri dust. And basically you don't really need too much. You only just want like a small amount on your brush, sort of kind of watered down, because this is like a pretty opaque paint as well. And you just want to go over bits and pieces like the ropes. If you get on the armor panels, it's always good. You can always go back and fix it up, like getting everything all over it. But yeah, if you just paint over all those bits, with the ropes all painted and ready to go, it might look very bright. Everything might be looking very bright right now, but I'll show you what we will do. But first, we're going to do all the metal parts now, and basically you can use lead belcher, which is Citadel's sort of metallic steel color, and it's nice and dark, or you can use Vallejo's color gunmetal. So it looks like this. I have a small capsules because I brought some packs for D&D stuff, but you want to get some of that. You want to paint swords, just anything you'd think would look like a bit of armor. Now that we look at him now, he's getting pretty close to being all painted up. He kind of looks really bright. So now, what we need to do is make a shade. You can use Agrax Earthshade, which is the Citadel alternative, but if you use Vallejo or any other sort of color that has shade paint, using black wash, where's my camera? Using black wash and sepia wash. Now, what you do is you do 1 drop of the black wash, 1 or 2, depends how many you do. And this will cover over a few models. So 1 drop of the black wash and 2 to 3 drops of the sepia. And you want to mix it in. So you want to make sure you have a nice big brush for this too. I've got a number 6, and it's a shade, or like a studded thing. And with this, now that it's looking moderately dry from what I can see, I'm just gonna get it right. Just put it all over the model. You might be screaming at yourselves, "Why are you doing this? Why is it so much? You're putting too much shape in." Well, you'll see why in a second. You don't want to let this pull. This sort of, the Vallejo stuff really likes to pull, and when it does, it kind of looks gross in a way. I don't think I have any models to show, but basically just kills all the color in it. And yeah. So we'll do all that. And over it all. Try and get rid of as much as try and paint in all the areas. It kind of look like this. And he's almost done, basically. So I'll be right back when he dries. And with the shade color dried and everything all together, we have our grot. I think that's what the name is. I'll correct myself in editing this, but we get our grot. See how the color really gets saturated with the shade, and how it just sits in there really nicely, as well as it covers all the cloth, and it makes the armor panels look a bit more sort of genuine with like the studded bits. It's still sort of drying at the feet. I'm gonna do basing on this eventually, but if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you didn't, that's all good too. If you want to see more tutorials, let me know what sort of models you'd like to see me paint. I have a lot of the models in the Dominion box, so anything in there, let me know what you want to see paint, whether it's Cruel Boys, or Stormcast Eternals, or even some of the big models. If you want to see me basing these models, let me know and I'll do a small little video on how I do basing. I'm going to record another video at some stage on how I paint gold. But until then, thank you all for watching.